What's up, guys? Nathan Barna here. Today, I hope to bring some clarity to the nutrition world and hopefully help you guys out when you're trying to decipher what foods to eat and how much to eat, and hopefully making that whole process a lot easier. And as I hope to show, when you begin to, when you learn the principles of what it is that you should be looking for in food and start to tap into that innate intelligence within your body when it comes to, learning what it is that you need from a moment to moment basis, then the whole process of eating almost takes on a spiritual quality, in the sense that you become a lot more connected to your food and hopefully a lot more connected to where that food is coming from. And as you'll see, if you engage with this practice and this process, is the more attention you pay to where that food is coming from and how that food is making you feel, the better you're going to feel overall in the long run. In other words, the more attention you pay to what you're putting in your body, the more you're going to be able to get out of your body. And the more you're able to get out of your body, and the more conscious you become of the decisions that you're making and moving yourself towards health, the better decisions that you're going to make when it comes to not only supporting yourself, but supporting the planet, so that we can not just eat today, but so that we can eat 20, 50 years from now, and so that our kids can eat, and so that our kids' kids can eat, and embrace the nutrition that is available to us through the beauty and the wisdom of Mother Nature and the soil. So again, long-winded introduction, but I want to talk about the food quality versus the food quantity. And I feel like a lot of us are in the mindset of quantity when it comes to food. We're concerned about how many calories the food has. We're concerned about what a serving size is and how many servings we're having. We're concerned about how many fats are in the food, how many carbs are in the food, how much protein is in the food. All of these different numbers that, when you hold an apple in your hand, there's no nutrition label to look at. You're not looking at a amount of calories. You're not looking at an amount of fat or carbs or protein or even any particular micronutrient. You're looking at an apple, and the nutrition of that apple is directly dependent upon where that apple came from. And where that apple came from is going to directly impact the nutrition that it's going to have, and the nutrition that is going to give your body, or the toxins that it may be giving your body. So that's the whole idea of the quality versus the quantity. And when I'm working with people, and the process I've had to develop within myself is to get out of the mindset that you should be eating a certain amount of calories today, and you have to stay away from fats or stay away from carbs or get this many grams of protein, because I used to be there. I lived that life for quite a few years to the point where, I was measuring everything down to the gram. Even, I'd measure every gram of rice that I was putting into my body, because I believed that I had to hit this imaginary, perfect number that I came up for myself, so that I could maintain a certain body composition or certain level of performance. And what I've learned and what my experience is since I've been developing this practice is that the more that I focus on the quality of the food, i.e., where that food is coming from, the more that I get out of that food, and the more of a relationship I'm able to develop with my body, and the more I'm able to trust and to listen to my body to tell me what I need on a moment-to-moment basis. And this is where I strive to help the clients and athletes I work with get to. Because, back even 100 years ago, we didn't really have this concept of the paradigm that we're in now, where if you want to eat, or if you want to lose weight, you have to eat X amount of calories, and you have to manipulate your macronutrients in this way. If you want to gain weight, you have to manipulate your macronutrients that way. And if you look back even further, there was no concept of calories. There was only, how is this food, how does this food make me feel? How does my body respond when I eat this food? And, if I am gaining weight, then potentially I'm eating too much food. But when you eat the food that your body was designed to eat, and you develop a relationship with your food and pay attention to the symptoms that your body is giving you, you will know if you're eating too much, and you will know if you're eating too much of certain types of food. You will know if you need to be eating more of other types of food, and your physiology balances itself out when it has the nutrition available to it. Because you have to realize, and I make this point over and over and over and over again, and I will continue to do so because it's that important, is food is energy and information. Is not just like gasoline that we put into our bodies just so we can keep going. Food is the energy and the information. The food that we eat, and the nutrition that we're getting from food, or the lack of nutrition that we're getting from food, is directly impacting our body on the cellular level as to what genes to flip on and off, and how those genes are expressed in our body. If we are eating foods that are nutritionally void and or are toxic and full of pesticide residues or artificial flavors and artificial colors and synthetic this and that, we're sending that information into our body, which is creating disruption and creating dis-ease at a cellular level. So again, when you're trying to figure out what to eat, always start with the quality. Because when you increase the quality and you give your body the nutrition that it needs, you will learn how to start to decipher these different symptoms or different feelings that you're getting, and your natural innate instincts will be able to kick back on. I'm sure you've all had the experience of, if you're eating a bag of chips or something of that nature, something highly processed, you might be able to put down easily 1,000 calories and you're still hungry. It's because even though you may have had that amount of energy, you still didn't get the nutrition that was supposed to be along with that energy. And therefore, the information that your body is getting is that it did not receive the vital resources that it needs to continue to grow and develop, even though you may have just given yourself 1,000 excess calories. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up, because they eat foods that are nutritionally void, and therefore they don't have the nutrition that they need to feel satiated, because that's what your body is looking for when it's hungry. It's not necessarily looking for calories, it's looking for nutrition. So if you don't give it that nutrition, it's going to keep sending that signal back out that it needs more food because it needs more nutrition. And so if you keep eating, but don't give it any nutrition, inevitably, yes, you are going to be in a caloric surplus, and inevitably you will store excess fat. And going along with that, something that we'll get into later is that when you're overly toxic, you can actually increase the amount of fat storage, because if your liver is not able to detoxify things, it gets shuttled out into the fat, which is another big problem that we see today with our, overly processed and highly palatable foods that we tend to gravitate towards. So plain and simple, go back to whole foods, go back to organic foods. And yes, I said go back because before the advent of commercial farming and before the military industrial medicine complex decided that they needed use for these extra chemicals, these extra warfare chemicals, and before they decided to put them on our food as pesticides, all the food that we ate was organic, which means that not only did it not have these certain toxins that are disrupting our physiology, but the soil was vital and healthy, and it had the microorganisms to help create the bioavailable nutrients for the plants, so that the plants had the nutrition that they needed. And then if the animals are eating the nutritious plants, then the animals can be filled with the nutrition that we need. So whole foods, organic foods, and if you can, eat as much raw food as you can, because through the cooking and heating process, a lot of the secondary nutrients and enzymes can become damaged, and even a lot of the beneficial bacteria that's present in food can become damaged, and those are things that we also need. So quality, and the quantity will begin to take care of itself as your body reestablishes homeostasis and realizes that it is getting the nutrition that it needs, so it doesn't have to keep relaying that signal back to go eat more and more and more. So I hope this helps. I look forward to sharing more of this with you, and I'll talk to you guys next time.